activating this skill of bringing the various aspects of energetic gift through your body, okay? And these are skills that require chi. So I'll just break this. It's so obvious, right? But rarely do we break it down. So your capacity, let's just pick an energy, love fuck, right? Or dark love. Let's pick that energy. Your capacity to bring that energy is going to be the function of two things. How much chi or life force you have in your own body, right? And how habituated your nervous system is to moving that energy through the meat body, through the energetic and meat body. Those two things will make that capacity more freely given. You can turn it on at any moment. You can, the people around you, that your romantic partner, your sexual partner will feel it. And without both of those things, it will be difficult. It'll be kind of a weak offering. Right? Now, once you become masterful at it, then you can kind of, again, the example David uses, which I find so effective here, is we're giving you chords. If you're a guitar player, we're giving you chords. We're giving you A, C, E, A minor. We're giving you chords. So dark love is a chord in the art of sexual polarity, sexual intimacy. The capacity to the sharp consciousness, piercing presence, it's a chord, right? So if you don't practice the chord and you don't get the fingers right, the chord is going to be like really clunky. So once you practice these chords that we're giving you, tenderness, most of these things kind of happen situationally, through our lives, or we get really good at one and we just repeat it. That's our go-to. Right? So it'd be like, I guess you could be like Bob Dylan. All he said he needed was 3 chords and the truth, right? That's not a bad start, but 3 chords, not just 1 chord, right? And what he did with those 3 chords was pretty fucking artful, yeah? So once you learn the chords, then you can do things like hammer and move up and down the fret. So you can do all kinds of things with that chord. And your capacity to be artistic in that chord is absolutely the function of how much you've practiced that chord and how adapt your body is to the movements in that chord. Everybody's still with me, yeah? It seems obvious, but rarely do we, in the realms of embodied presence or sexual or masculine sexual intimacy, or what David would call sexual yoga, do we practice those things? For example, men are often lacking in the chord of joy. Right? Like we're, the burden thing takes over and we're fucking serious, especially when you get into this work. We're serious, we're present, we're fucking, right? What the men yesterday found out was that, the women responded beautifully to joy, to play, to tussle. So play and tussle, they're chords. Right? And so what we're going to do in this exercise is I'm going to give you guys chords to literally, from the activated energy that you still have in your body, press through your body. Maybe your body will take the shape of something. So it's not like you have to sit still completely. I'll walk you through this, but sometimes, for example, you can see joy, like I'm pressing joy, but if I lift my throat and offer my throat and the top of my heart a little more, like you guys can actually feel more joy from me. I'm hoping, right? So you lift up if you activate, so for joy, there's a part of your body that joy actually, the top of your heart and your throat, right? There's more joy than if I'm like, if I'm smiling down here. Do you see this? Do you feel this? Some of you do? Okay. I guarantee you, women feel it. They're 100 times more sensitive to energy. So our capacity, so for example, to bring, if I'm trying to bring like dark love through my body, I've got to have my fucking hips and genitals active in that, yes? Like there's got to be blood flow down here, yeah? So the parts of the body that can press, and obviously tenderness or divine love or even play. Like play comes from here. Can you feel that? Can you guys feel that? Okay, play is the center of your body. Right? And so the more attuned you get to these kinds of how these energies flow into your through your body, the more artful and skillful you can get in giving them. But what I want you to notice in this practice are these kind of subtleties, because you guys are in this program. Most people never even attempt to master or get artful or even get competent in these things, right? They either have a natural skill or they don't, or you know what I mean, or they get stuck. Right? The second thing you're gonna bump up against in this practice are your limitations. Are your limitations because you haven't practiced a chord. And that usually shows up in internal resistance, like I don't want to show that, or some kind of physical resistance, like talking yesterday about literally he couldn't feel his heart open. But, well, that's a physical limitation based on a life lived in a certain body mind with certain habits in that body mind. You know, there is a science to this. There's an art and a science to this. And the flow of energy through the body is a fucking science. Yogic science, meditative science, you know, qigong, these things have been mastered for thousands of years. We're bringing it into the realm of conscious relationship with the world, conscious relationship with our partners, conscious relationship with the moment, conscious relationship, right? King or leader or general, right? That's the upper chest and shoulders, right? Wide shoulders, right? It's not necessarily the hips, you know? And so you get a sense now of how these chords, where these chords land, just like a guitar chord would land a certain place, you know, on a certain fret, right? So you're going to run into where you might have a limitation. I just want to invite you to play full out through that limitation and see what opens up on the other side.